Okay guys, before you start, I need you to go to the bucket and get a problem number 1 and a problem number 2 and set it up like I have on page 17 and 18. Okay, so we're going to start with number 1, which is the one with the table. Remember, when we're reading word problems, we read them 3 times each. So the first time, let's just read it. The table shows the population of 3 Texas counties. The population of Gray County is missing. The population of Gray County is 12,345 less than the population of Anderson County. What is the combined populations of these 4 counties? Okay, next time that we read it, we need to use cubes. C stands for circle. We circle on important numbers. This problem does have a lot of numbers. If we look in here, we need population of Gray County is 12,345 less than the population of Anderson County. So yes, we would need 12,345. Next, the table. Do we need all 3 of these or do we just need Anderson and Gray? Well, the question says, what is the combined population of these 4? So we need all 4 numbers. Okay, and we will need Gray when we find out Gray. So right now, Gray is the missing one. Gray is not 12,345 because that's what it's less than. Okay, so now you underline, we're underlining the question. What is the combined population of these 4 counties? Now B, box and keywords. If we look, I don't see any keywords in that top 2 sentences that tells us if we're going to do our 4 operations, which are divide, multiply, add, or subtract. So we're going to look down here. I see less than, and less than tells us that we're going to subtract because it's smaller. Okay, and I see combined. Okay, the combined of these 4. I'm going to also box in 4. Combined tells us that we're going to add the 4 numbers. The reason why I didn't circle 4 is because we're not adding 4. But it does tell us that we need to add 4 counties. So I might even draw a line to that. Okay, we know we're adding 4. We're subtracting. Okay. And E stands for evaluate and S is for solve. But we cannot do that yet because we have to read it for the 3rd time. Remember, our 3rd time is to use our charts. So I'm going to flip back. Okay, this is a 2-step problem, so I'm going to start with that first one. Did we have the total? Well, we had Anderson, yes. Do we need equal parts or groups? No, because we know it's less than. It doesn't tell us that they're going to be equal. So the first time we're going to subtract. Okay, then we're looking for the combined total. So if we're looking for the combined, do we have it? No. Are all the numbers the same? No. So we're going to add. So we're subtracting, then adding. Okay, we're back. So we know we need to subtract first because we have to add Gray in. Okay, so I'm going to make that little note right here. We know we're going to add all these, and we're looking for that one. So it's a 2-step problem. So let's do the first step. I might even write a number 1. Step number 1. We're going to look at Anderson, 803,455. And then we know that Gray County, the one we're looking for, is 12,345 less than Anderson. So I'm going to make sure I'm lining up my place value. When we have decimals, we can use the decimals. Here we can use the commas for the thousands place. And less than, we're subtracting here. So I have 5 minus 5, 0. 5 minus 4, 1. 4 minus 3, 1. 3 minus 2, 1. 0 minus 1. Well, if I have 0, I cannot give you anything. So I have to borrow from my friend the 8. And this becomes a 10. Now 10 minus 1, 9. And 7 minus 0, 7. So Gray County is 791,110. Sorry. But see, place value is important. That comma should have came straight down. 791,110. Now I have to add them all up. So we talked about this. You don't have to put them biggest to little because it does not matter, but it's easier to add when we do. So I'm going to do that. Remember that we need to line up place value. Okay, so now we're going to do 5 plus 0 plus 6 plus 0. So we just take out the zeros. 5 plus 6, 11. Carry my 1. 1 plus 5, 6. Plus 1, 7. Plus 5, 12. Plus 1, 13. Okay, we're going to break this one up. So we see a 9 and a 1. We know those are friendly numbers. 9 plus 1 is 10. Plus 4, 14. Plus 1, 15. Plus 4, 19. That makes it easier. This one too. I see 8 plus 1 plus 1. So 1 plus 1 is 2. 8 plus 2 is 10. Plus 3, 13. Plus 3, 16. 9 plus 1 again, 10. Plus 2, 12. Plus 7, 19. Now 8, 9, 10, plus 7, 17. So the combined population is actually 1,796,931. Good. And we're done with number 1. Okay, now I want to take us to number 2. So this is on page 17. Number 2 should be glued on page 18. I'm going to fold my composition book back so y'all can see it better. Okay, again, we're reading it 3 times. First time, we just read it. Mr. Marquez had 567 eggs in a refrigerator in his restaurant. He put 34 more cartons of eggs in the refrigerator. Each carton contained 10 eggs. What is the best estimate of number of eggs Mr. Marquez now has in his refrigerator? Okay, read it once. Second time, we need to be using cubes. First number, we'll see, circle the numbers. First number, 567 eggs. Okay, do we need to know the total amount of eggs? What is the best number of eggs Mr. Marquez now has in the refrigerator? Yes, we do. He puts 34 more cartons of eggs, so he's adding more eggs. So do we need to know 34? Yes. Just know that's cartons, not eggs. Each carton contains 10 eggs. Do we need to know how many eggs are in one carton? Yes, because it's asking us for the total eggs, not the total cartons. Which is the best estimate of number of eggs Mr. Marquez now in a refrigerator? Okay, that's all of our numbers. We needed all those. U is for underline. Underline the question. Okay, this is why it's important not to have a lot of glue. I'm able to do this, and look, I don't know if you can see my glue is still wet. So if you're not able to do this, then you put way too much glue. Okay, B is for box. Box in our keywords. Okay, keywords. He put more cartons, so he's adding them in there. Remember, we have each. Each always means, I'm gonna draw an arrow. Multiply or divide. Okay, what is the estimate? Remember, it means close to. We don't want the exact number he now has in his refrigerator. I think that would be all of our keywords. E is for evaluate and S is for solve, but we cannot do yet because we need to figure out what we're doing. Okay, again, we have 2 steps here. So let's start with the each first because we don't want to add. We got to figure out how many eggs are in those cartons. So we're going to figure out if we're multiplying or dividing first. Okay, so do we have the total of how many eggs are already in the carton? Sorry, let me get there. Do we have the total of how many eggs are already in the carton? No. Do they want equal groups? Yes, each carton has 10 eggs, so we are multiplying first. Okay, then after we multiply, they want to know how many eggs are in the fridge. So do we have the total number of eggs in the fridge? No. Are they going to be equal then? No, they are not after that. So we're going to multiply and then add. Okay, flipping back. If you have your math resource folder, it would make things easier so you don't have to flip. I unfortunately do not. here at home. Okay, so next, we already read it 3 times. That was our 3rd time. Now we're ready to evaluate and solve. And we said we're going to multiply. Okay, we're going to do that first. So we need 34 cartons. Each carton has 10 eggs. So we're going to do 34 times 10 to find out how many eggs are in these 34 cartons. Okay, so first with a 0 times 4, 0. 0 times 3, 0. Lay our egg. 1 times 4, 4. 1 times 3, 3. Add our partial products. 0, 4, 3. Okay, so there's 340 cartons that he's putting more into. Okay, so now we need our estimate because we're going to do, he started with 567 and then he added on 340. So it's easiest always to go to that first place value, which in this case is the hundredths place for both of them. So we know 500, it's in between 500 and 600, but which is it closest to? 600. Okay, 340, it's in between 300 and 400, but which is it closest to? Okay, so when we're adding those, I'm going to line them up now. 0 plus 0, 0 plus 0, 6 plus 3. 900 eggs. Well, I'm going to put about 900 eggs. That's his estimate of how many he now has. Okay. And that is it for today.